This is one of those places where I like to come and sort of clear my head a little bit. You hear the fountain in the background there. This is where we got married. It's the duck pond at UNM. 23rd of April, 2011. 12 years and a couple months ago. I just went to church at City Ave on a hill. I was hoping to talk to Bob Paulson. He wasn't there. I did have a brief word with Pastor Ryan. Kind of told him a little bit about the story. And sort of made a request for some help with my overseas ministries. I'm trying to get my shit together. Monday, in case they take me up on my offer to kill me. I don't want to commit suicide. I want someone to shoot me in the head. Well, I'll go with Shimewaza. It's a lot tidier and more merciful if they want to do it that way. I'm thinking the katana, which we're wearing. Oh, yeah. Let me explain that. None of this stuff is to be used on anybody else. I don't really carry, carry it as a weapon. It's the sword of the Spirit, the Word of God, which is actually right here. But the symbol of it is my katana is here. And you'll notice that attached to it is a paddle, another paddle, and this is a riding crop. This little loop here comes out. These are just hollow plastic nunchucks. None of that stuff is for me to use on you or anyone else. There to be, well, it could be, but it's to be used on me. I have no problems with accountability. If I offend somebody, I'll apologize. Well, that's one of the things I wanted to explain too. Some of the shit I carry around my neck. Uh, oh well, Ryan, he's from Australia, and he recognized what this was immediately. He said he noticed it when I went up for communion. Oh yeah, I got communion. Uh, it's a kangaroo scrotum. He's from Australia. Uh, yeah, he didn't know it was called Sachibukuro in Japanese, but he was familiar with it. Oh, and last night I stopped by the hangar, got my VFW uniform, and I'm going to wear it to ceremony, and found this cross. I remember that. A bracelet. Yeah. Anyway. Uh, the other things here, well, I did go by American Legion Post 81 last night, and I tried to give this $100 bill to Linda, but she wasn't there. That's from Leonce. This is a 10,000 franc bill. From there, it's the only bill I know of in the world that has two faces on it, and I do that same illusion with it. He was supposed to send me some more of these, but I guess they got lost in the mail. One of these guys is a Hutu, the other is a Tutsi. One is a prince, and the other is some kind of national hero. I didn't get the whole detailed story about it. But, I kind of, explained the situation about how our daughter Sabrina thought it was a good idea to take, well, she took over as my wife's legal guardian after she had her stroke on Christmas Eve of 2018. Of course, I got blamed for that, still being blamed for it. And I was down here. I was already in New Mexico. We're still married. I'm not marrying anybody else. For damn sure. I did consider divorcing her to marry Shazia to get her out of Afghanistan. And Shazia is Pashto for Sabrina. I can't even make up shit like that. That's one of my overseas projects that I could use a little bit of help with, you know. Because absolutely nobody, after about a year and a half of trying, I can't get anybody. Amnesty International, Mercy Corps, every NGO I could think of in both governments. The United States wants something like, I forget what it was, like $550 for application fee for a, I can't remember what it's called now. She didn't qualify for the special immigrant visa or any of that stuff. Humanitarian parole, that's what it is. And that's each. And she has 5 members of her family. A little bit beyond my budget. Beyonce, I cut him down to $100 a month. I was sending him at least $400, which is like 2 years average salary over there. And I did that every month for two years and a couple months. Well, no, about 2 years exactly, because you know, I recently cut him back. Kind of a training thing. Well, that's another thing I kind of wanted Bob's help for. Maybe they could do a better job teaching the young lads stewardship, and if they kill me, as I am basically going to dare them to on Monday, it'd be nice if the people I leave behind are taken care of. I already have the insurance for the funeral and all that stuff. I don't have an executor. I have nobody that is in a position to do that for me, so they say. But anyway, it's just nice to come here and think and relax. And you know, I wasn't going to come up. I was hoping to do it with just a phone call, but I ended up leaving him a note, Paulson, a note. Oh gosh, I guess I should have said hi to Greg Bump. It was his, he's like semi-retiring or something. Blah, blah, blah. He gave me some wonderful advice too, like I have to return to Pennsylvania and fix my marriage because divorce is a sin. Yeah, that's why I didn't get one. I filed for it for my legal protection, but there is no legal protection, not against silver bullets, false accusations. Oh yeah, which I carry a silver bullet in this funnel. This funnel is, oh yeah, I do have it. So you could pee standing up when you're wearing a male chastity device. This one has a combination lock on it. And, you can see how that works. Otherwise, you got to sit down and pee, or you know, go into a bottle or you know, if you could find one with a big enough opening. But I wore one of these. Well, I still wear them on occasion. Not quite as often as I used to. I used to wear one every time I left the house when I was married, and I did that for 5 years. 2 years into the marriage, I found out she had Othello syndrome, also known as delusional morbid jealousy. But of course, that's impossible. She was never diagnosed with it. Took 7 years worth of my mental health records with me to the PFA hearing and to show that, you know, I was getting counseling and all that, and I couldn't get her to go with me because she didn't need counseling because she's perfect. Well, now she has the mentality of a 4-year-old who lives in a nursing home that Aunt Rosie died in, and let's just say they're going to have similar fates. Rosie made it to 100. It's fantastic. And she's kind of, well, her and my wife now are kind of the reason why that and it was pretty fun to go kidnap Rosie and take her to movies and the racetrack and church picnics and whatever. You know, they don't give a shit where you take them as long as you get them out of the nursing home for a while. I don't know if anybody does that for Mary. It's a threat to her safety for me to communicate with her any way whatsoever, even text or email from, which she probably isn't even capable of reading, from 2,000 miles away. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Gosh, where's the time on this? But anyway, I just want to reflect on things and 2 Timothy 4, the next where I am being poured out as a drink offering. I fought the good fight, you know, won the race, that one. So, since my rights were stripped from me, and we both lost everything we owned, damn near killed her, but people feel free to just throw all my belongings in a dumpster, threaten me with evictions, and the hanger, what's his name, Kurt Young, telling me I'll have the cops come and put all your stuff out on the street. Legal threats like that. Bill and Myra Gotti filing a criminal assault charge against me, which was dismissed once. They refiled it. I asked for a jury trial or hearing. Well, there was no jury, but it was a hearing, an in-person hearing that they showed up at. And they got the judge to basically sentence me to 30 days probation. And the judge said that if I was a good boy and didn't mention Bill and Mara Gotti's name on Facebook or social media, that they would graciously drop the criminal assault charge. And my public defender, Gregory Godet, told me about this and said, I said, well, you know, I'm going to file a countersuit against this. And he said, well, you better wait for the 30 days because if you have them served, that could be considered contact. Yeah, I guess it could. Oh, and I stopped by Post 81 last night. I was going to give that $100 bill to Linda. And, well, she wasn't there. But Bill was. Didn't have much to say. He stuck his nose out the door. I was kind of surprised at that, but didn't have much to say. And I noticed him back there and just said, I'll see you at the ceremony on Monday. And I hope they all bring their guns to Kaishikun for me, because I intend to stab this katana into my heart. I'm going to offer to let him do it first. Because if you're going to kill me, I would rather you do it honestly and look me in the eye as you do it, instead of with your legal bullshit. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, and the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places that I just dealt with on my way here. Have the spiritual warfare quadfecta there. But, fortunately, I'm starting to kind of get the hang of this stuff. The escape plans to Europe aren't working out quite as well as I'd hoped. But I didn't get around to filing for Social Security yet. I've been eligible for it for a year and a couple of months. I hope there's back pay, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Still figuring out the logistics of making the move, but I know for a fact I got to get the hell out of the United States. I called the Veterans Crisis Line because I was sort of freaking out, over these criminal charges and all this other stuff. And, and by the way, I've been up for I don't even know how many hours. I was up all night last night. I came up in Albuquerque to sing karaoke. I did go back home, but I came back hoping I'd run into Bob, because I have been trying to contact him via Facebook and stuff, and I haven't heard anything from him. Oh, and they did like what the Evolution group did. Oh, they stopped by there today too. Or, well, on the way up here, that was last night. But anyway, I stopped by there, and they also did the same thing. I can't mark that as a location whenever I post anything on Facebook. And, well, there's some other shady things going on Facebook. Using the word kidnap in quotation marks to describe taking someone out of a nursing home for a few hours. Got me banned for 30 days. I couldn't even like posts or people's birthdays. I couldn't even comment or nothing. So, yeah. Fair's fair. Maybe I'll see justice. Probably I will. My justice is that I'm still not married. Well, I'm married, but I'm not going through the hell of the fellow syndrome. People don't believe that's a living hell. I don't care what you believe. I ain't trying to recruit nobody into nothing, that's for damn sure. Nobody will do what I do or go as far as I go. I ain't gonna get help with anything. I'm in a different realm than these people.